All right, so now that we've got our gun textured, we're gonna want to go ahead and set up a way to actually pick up the gun, right? So if I go ahead and click play, you can see we have this rifle here, and it spawns off of this pickup after here. It's really interesting what they've done with this as well. This is a new system they have that allows you to dynamically set the pickup. Let's go ahead and take a look at it and how we can edit it. So right here we have spawn time. So I think if you pick it up, it waits 4 seconds or something before respawning it. We have a data table and a row name. Let's dive into what all of this stuff is. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a maze, kind of figuring out where everything is set up and how everything talks to each other within these systems. But we're gonna take it slow and go through everything you need to know in order to understand this a bit. So just bear with me here. There's gonna be a lot of different like tabs that we're opening, a lot of locations that we're jumping to. But that is just kind of part of the process. We're gonna take our time and explore everything. So just by default, if we go ahead and find it here, we can see we have a data table, which I have not used this before until this course, of course. And we already have grenade launcher, pistol, and rifle. So your first thought would probably be add a new row for our custom gun. And you would be correct in that thought. So we can go ahead and just click add. Let's name it rocket launcher. And it's going to require a static mesh here, which I don't think we actually had imported one. So if we go back to our weapons, rocket launcher, so there's a static mesh for our ammo, but there's never actually one made for our gun. So if we just open up our gun here, there's a button somewhere around here. They moved it. Make static mesh is all we need to do. We'll put it in the rocket launcher, and the name will be rocket launcher. We might change the name. We'll see. Sure, that looks great to me. So we can go back to our data table now and go ahead and just search for rocket launcher. And so that's going to be the static mesh. And let's go ahead and see what this does. So we can take a look at this blueprint again. And we should now see input here for rocket launcher. And if I go ahead and click play, oh, that's right. Another thing we need to do. Let's go ahead and delete all these random spawn locations. It's cool, but also very inconvenient for testing. Okay, there we go. Sick. So we've got a cool floating spinning gun, just like that. If we go ahead and run over to pick it up, though, actually nothing happens. But it does respawn. Got a cool little animation on it. And that's going to be because we've set the static mesh, but we're not telling it what to actually do once we pick up that static mesh. So by default, it's going to go to a different location here, right? It's going to go to variant shooter, blueprint, pickups, and then I think it's going to go to weapon base, if I'm not mistaken, which is just like the basic rifle that you'll pick up if there's no data input for it. There's a lot of places this goes. So again, just bear with me. It's okay if it's all confusing. There's a lot of jumping around, but we're getting through it. So what we're going to want to go ahead and do is under the blueprints here, we'll go to pickups, and they already have this grenade launcher one, and we're going to work off of this one because I like the way that this one starts. It has a really big bullet and it has 5 ammo or something in it. There's some decent like tuning to the gun to start. So we're just gonna create a duplicate of this. We'll create a new folder first, call it rocket launcher. Maybe I'll color it red so that we know it's ours. And I'm going to copy this, Control C, go back, Control V. And let's take a look at it and explain what's actually going on inside of here. Okay. Actually, first off, I'm going to rename this so we don't get confused. BP weapon rocket launcher. And if we double click to open it, we are met with this. So there's a note up here saying this is a data only blueprint, only the default values are shown. And we can look at these for a second. First, we have the bullet class, which is going to be what bullet it's spawning. So there's a pistol bullet, which is smaller, and then there's also the big round orb, which I shot in the beginning. Current bullets, magazine size. Again, a bunch of really nice default setups here for tweaking how the gun works. Refire rate, whether or not it's full auto. So I'm not going to touch any of this stuff yet. Let's just go ahead and click this open full blueprint editor here so that we can take a look at what's going on under the hood. So if you've never used blueprints before, which I'm going to assume most of y'all haven't because I went such a long time in Unreal without knowing blueprints, probably 3 years, because I was just scared to touch it. We have 3 tabs here. Viewport, obvious, pretty self-explanatory. Construction script, we're not going to worry about this till later. You can do a lot of cool like in-editor stuff in here. And then event graph, and this is going to be stuff that runs when you actually play the game. And to start, I think I'm just going to show you guys what's going to happen now. So we've created a copy of the rocket launcher. We're going to go back to data table here. And again, we need to spawn an actor. So let's do BP weapon rocket launcher. And it should be the same exact thing as the grenade launcher. So we pick it up, and now we're holding a grenade launcher. Amazing. It's a copy of the grenade launcher, but it is the grenade launcher default. And we want to actually now edit our rocket launcher to be our mesh. I think what we want to do here is just type in rocket gun as our skeletal mesh. And I'm going to see what happens. Because it doesn't look like anything changed in there, but it actually has. Okay, great. So kind of confusing because you can't see it, and I don't really know why that is. But we're just gonna roll with it. I'll let us know, and I'm gonna figure it out, and I'll let you guys know in the next episode why it's not working. But I think there's like some weird thing I had to do to like refresh it. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know why this checkbox. Okay, whatever. We're not going to question it. I turned this on and off, and it like forced the refresh out of it. And so now we can see it's here. This is we have 2 things here. We have first person weapon and third person, and this is just for a completely different project setup, right? If we did a third person shooter, we would set the skeletal mesh asset here as well. But because we're only in first person shooter mode, we don't even have to worry about this one. Just play it again, make sure it's all working. So now we're holding our grenade launcher. No animations are playing on it. It's obviously clipping on our screen, and it's shooting big orange projectiles rather than the rockets that I had modeled for it. But overall, it is working. And before we get too much into like tweaking the details of it, I want to take a look at our animations again and go ahead and talk about what I said we would talk about in this episode, which is splitting this animation up into 6 parts so that in blueprints we can play each of those corresponding parts based on what shot we're on. So I'm going to go back to our weapons again. Rocket launcher, I'm going to make this red too, just so that we're quick with it. And I think if we just right click on the animation, can we just make a montage from this? Yeah. So we can search for create animation montage, and we're just going to leave the name as is. And let's take a look at it. So it kind of just looks like the same exact thing as our animation. And currently it kind of is. What I want to do is split this up into 6 parts. Yeah, so if we just right click, we can create a new montage section, call it shot 1. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna have 6 shots, right? So we'll make shot 1 through 6. And again, we're gonna call these in blueprints later, but for now we're just doing the setup part of it. New montage section, shot 2. And I'm gonna move these around as well once we get these all into place. Shot 3. Just do this as quick as I can. Shot 4. Shot. Okay, so we want shot 1 to be right at the start here. We want shot 2 to be at frame 20. So you can see shoots, reloads, rotates, and then I guess right on 21 starts to shoot again. So that's how I set it up, right? 1 rotation every 20 frames to keep it easy to use in Unreal. Again, if you're doing your own gun, like a mini gun or crossbow, this is kind of how you want to think about your animation, is making sure you have readable things that you can split out. Or of course you could just export 6 animations and just call each animation individually. But working with the montage system, it allows us to be a little more dynamic and kind of work a lot quicker. It would be pretty slow to just set up 6 animations in blueprints. So this allows us to work a little faster. And shot 6. 76, not quite. Okay, delete and recreate, sure. Oh my god. Apologies, this is painful. Shot 6, almost did it again. Holy. Okay, set it here, frame 100. There we go. Cool. So we can see in this montage sections over here, we've got some weird looking stuff going on, right? It's going shot 1 to shot 2 to shot 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's just by default, it's just gonna like play through each section. Oops. I'm gonna save everything. Yeah. So it actually, when you click play with our spacebar or whatever, it just goes through everything. And instead, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this default one here. I just want to break all these links so that they're all their own individual shots. And now if we click play, yeah. So whatever section we like kind of skip to and click play on with the slider, it just stays in that section, self-contained. Great. So now we have a montage, which we can call from a blueprint, and we can actually start setting up logic and using blueprints. I'm going to go ahead and just find the location for it, but we're not going to do the logic in this episode. It's going to be its own whole thing. I believe variant shooter, blueprints, first person shooter. This might be the right one here. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of mumbo jumbo going on here, and it's really cool what they've done. They've commented out all of our logic, so it's actually a really good learning resource to kind of just go through all of these files and see what they're doing a little bit. Of course, we'll be explaining everything and going really slow through stuff, but you can see how they're setting up logic for the guns, right? The only thing we're going to care about is going to be this montage play for now, right? So we're somewhere else in the blueprints, we're doing event play firing montage, which I'm guessing is going to happen when you click. And it's just going to play currently. It's, well, here. Currently, that montage is only playing like the small rotation on the gun. So you can see that's why it has this sort of recoil to it. But yeah, obviously we're going to set it up to do cool grenade launcher reload stuff. Awesome. We've got our montage set up. Let's go ahead and get it implemented in the next episode.